Do not trust a woman who cannot keep her female friend's secret. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. Please go back and watch the post that I stitched. In that post that I just stitched, this woman was talking about not trusting women who share their girlfriend's business with their spouse or their partner. There are several reasons why I don't think that you should trust women who share all of their female friends' business with their partner. And let's go down the list of why I don't think that you should trust or continue to share openly your business with that person. First of all, I think women that share their girlfriend's business are the same type of women that talk poorly about their children and air out their children's, especially their daughter's business, to their friends and to anyone that will listen. And I think that when you air someone's business, in spite of them not telling you, these are the same types of women that will break confidence and use the opportunity to degrade their children to anyone who gives them a listening ear. So I think that's the first thing. I think the second thing is a woman who will, again, run to a man. And you have to think about it. Most healthy, well-adjusted men do not want to know all of the ins and outs of your friends. They might want to know some casual things like, what did you guys do when you went out, or something like that. But they don't want to know all of the inner workings of your friend's business. If they do want to know every single detail, intimate detail that you guys had in a phone conversation, I'm inclined to think that that man is invested in your friendships for his own agenda, meaning that he potentially may want to get with that person. You also may have a woman that discloses to him may also have a notion or an inkling that he's also emotionally invested in getting to know your friend on a level that is clearly inappropriate. And I'm also inclined, thirdly, to think that that woman would be the same type of woman to also openly share her daughter's business with a man, and would offer up potentially her daughter to a man that is clearly inappropriate. And I've seen this all the time, where women have known that their daughters or the men that they were with were sexually interested in their daughters or their children, and will tell them everything, including things that their daughters ask them to keep in confidence, as a way to degrade them, belittle them, or essentially hand them over to the man that they're with, right? Just to keep him around. So those are toxic reasons why. And I think the third thing is this. Women who share all of their friends' business with their partner, I think that there is a competition that they have with their friend. And by them sort of openly disclosing issues that their friend is having, that's a way to sort of leveling the playing field, or trying to get a one-up on their friend to say, oh, she has all of these problems and our life is so much better than hers. And so there has to be a level of confidence that you have with your friends, is particularly if your friend is telling you not to share and you willfully say that your business is insignificant, I can share what I want to, or I don't keep secrets. That means that you are viewing your friend, your relationship with your man of more importance, and you're going to do whatever you want to do or whatever it takes to keep him happy, and you're viewing your friend as insignificant or not as important to you, despite the fact that many women most likely had their friendships prior to having their relationships with their significant others. Again, not always the case, but a friendship is a relationship too, and there are boundaries that must be upheld within a friendship. Now, if your friend gives you permission to share or wants your partner's feedback because they may value your partner's feedback with a particular problem, that's certainly a different scenario. But when you're willfully going and you're sharing every intimate detail about your friends, and your man is wanting to know that, you have to look at, why is he so interested in my friend, and why am I wanting to give him all of the details. Lastly, one of the things that I'll mention, and this is something that I used to see back in the day when I used to do couples counseling, is there's a method of like triangulation, right? And sometimes when relationships with couples are not doing so well, they like to focus on a third party problem. And talking about and gossiping about a third party problem is a false sense of bonding and a false sense of communication, where a woman may feel like she's actually working with her partner and they are creating some sense of closeness over someone else's problem. And people do this with their children a lot, as well as other people. So therefore, if this person has a problem, if you're not talking to me about anything else, or about our own stuff, I can build this false sense of connection with you by talking to you about my friend's problem. And that gives the illusion that we're working together. We're talking about someone else. We are invested in somebody else's stuff. And that gives this false sense of security of like, oh, we both care about my friend and we're connecting by talking about you. No, you're gossiping about someone else's problems, and that gives you a toxic way to stay tied to your man, is through that, like, gossiping about someone's unrelated problem to you all. And again, that gives you a sense of power. It gives a false sense of connection within the relationship. And a lot of times people will create like different distractions. Women do this more so than men, at least in my experience in working as a therapist over the years, and that you will create all these false sense of distractions and connections to stay with their man. So women do this by, talking about their friends, talking about their child who's problematic, having a baby, talking about someone who has a medical illness, that you talking about someone that you want to help or you want to get advice from. Again, it's a false sense of connection, but also these women are betraying their friend, and they would offer up their friend and or their daughters to stay connected to an emotionally unhealthy man. So beware whenever your girlfriends do not listen to you, whenever they're talking about you, openly talking about you, to people that really, it's like, why are you telling them everything? These are the same women that will gossip about and put down their daughter's business in front of strangers and other people as well.